What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Fastlane for October the 7th, 2023 is officially in the books. All these matches, including the main event, felt like they could have taken place on a Raw or Smackdown. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who shares in that same sentiment. That's just what it felt like. If we're being honest, all of these matches could have taken place on a Raw or SmackDown. If we're being honest. I mean, nothing major happened on the show. Yes, we saw an appearance made by Jade Cargill, but that was only about, 20 to 30 seconds, and that was it. But overall, Fastlane was an okay event. I felt like it went off the air at 10:30 versus 10:45, but it is what it is. But all the matches were super long as well. That's all we got was just long matches. That's it. That's why I said before, all these matches could have taken place on Raw or SmackDown. So, we kicked the show off with a narration of video packages by Pat McAfee, which was great, so that was cool there. So this leads us into our first match tonight, which is the Judgment Day, which is Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. This was a good little match here. The crowd was very into it. Both Cody and Jey Uso took a lot of punishment from the Judgment Day. Towards the end of the match, the Judgment Day tried to get involved. And every time they got involved, both Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso were able to fight off members of the Judgment Day. So there was one point in the match where JD McDonough tried to get involved. He accidentally hit Damian Priest in the leg with the Money in the Bank briefcase. So this allowed for Cody to hit the crossroads on the announce table on the outside. But the table didn't break. Jey Uso hits a spaceman plunger, taking out everybody. That's allowed for him and Cody to do the version of the 1D. And then Cody does the crossroads for the 1, 2, 3. And your new WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And Finn Balor is the one who took the pin. So that's fine there. It does make sense. I'm not mad at this. If we're being honest, it actually makes sense. Storyline-wise, this allows for both Cody and Jey to go to SmackDown and to begin their respective feuds. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso and Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, both taking place at WrestleMania 40. So this does make sense. And this also adds more tension and drama within the Judgment Day. So I'm fine with all that shit. Let's go. Moving on. So we got a clip of the kickoff show with Jade Cargill arriving to the arena in a nice whip. And she was greeted by Triple H, so that was cool there. So she made a little mini appearance. I don't know why this wasn't done on the actual main show versus it being done on the pre-show. I don't know why it didn't happen that way, but it is what it is. I'm glad she's there. She got a really good reaction and everything. And I'm glad. I've got high hopes on Jade Cargill. I think she'll do well. I think she will hit a home run. I think she'll be a huge success on the main roster. So this is great. Who she feuds with first, I have no idea. Moving on. So, this leads us into a Pizza Hut commercial featuring Wade Barrett and Booker T, along with Xavier Woods. They did a little Pizza Hut advertisement. That was kind of funny there. Then, this leads us into our next match, which is Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. So it was a 3-on-2 handicap match for a good little bit. Towards the end of the match, Rey is starting to get his ass kicked a lot, and then out comes Carlito to a really good pop, and then Carlito is able to get the win via the backstabber onto Montez Ford. So this is great there, and Carlito has officially joined the LWO, so I do like that. Really good stuff there. Moving on, we got the announcement of Crown Jewel taking place in 4 weeks on Saturday, November the 4th, which is great. So we're going to have 3 pay-per-views in the month of November. Crown Jewel, Full Gear, and Survivor Series. So it should be a fun time for November. We should have a really fun time in November. Great. Next, the triple threat match. Iyo Sky versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the WWE Women's Championship. This is a really solid match. The crowd was into this like they were in all the matches. So really good stuff here. Really good spots here. There was a point in the match where they did the Tower of Doom spot, which is way too overdone, but it was done well in this one. Towards the end of the match, Bayley comes out. She gets involved. Asuka hits a flying codebreaker for a 2 count. Asuka goes for the Asuka lock, but Charlotte counters that to the figure 8. Asuka's about to tap, but the referee was distracted by Bayley. For whatever reason, this allows for Iyo Sky to hit the moonsault on Charlotte to pick up the 1, 2, 3. So, well, not Charlotte, but Asuka to pick up the 1, 2, 3 there. Makes perfect sense. This is great if we're being honest. I'm glad that Iyo retained. I thought she was going to lose. Maybe she loses to Charlotte. Maybe at Crown Jewel. That's probably what they'll do there. They'll probably have Iyo lose to Charlotte at Crown Jewel. I mean, I always pictured Iyo as a transitional champion anyway, if we're being honest. Because they're going to set up Charlotte and Bianca at WrestleMania 40. Moving on. So, Pat McAfee, he comes out to a really good pop and says that there was no chance in hell that he was going to miss this event. So, Pat McAfee mentions that the Minneapolis deserves a WrestleMania and that Pat McAfee will be joining Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary for the next match. I don't get why everybody needs to have a WrestleMania. WrestleMania really should just be for if you can have a really good arena and a really good location for the event, for the 2-night event. That's what WrestleMania is about. It's not going to be like, why would WWE go to to Indianapolis for a WrestleMania? It's just, it doesn't make sense. I mean, they could do like a SummerSlam there. They could do like a Survivor Series there and stuff like that. But not a WrestleMania. A WrestleMania should just be like a real big major city. And that's it. Like a real major city. You know, like an LA. Like a ATL. Like a Charlotte, North Carolina. Stuff like that. Places like that are where WWE should go for WrestleMania. And they should go, like, internationally, you know, like London, Germany, Australia, places like that as well, you know, in the UK. Just major cities should just get WrestleMania, you know? I mean, Indianapolis is fine, but for WrestleMania, hell no. For a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series, yeah. But for WrestleMania, fuck no. No. Moving on. So this leads us into John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline, which is Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. So John Cena took a whole lot of punishment in this match for the most part. LA Knight and John Cena are able to fight off the Bloodline. Towards the end of the match, John Cena was going for the attitude adjustment. So Jimmy hit the super kick on Cena. And then LA Knight's able to hit the superplex off the top rope. And then Cena hits the 5-knuckle shuffle on Jimmy. And then this allows, on Jimmy into the attitude adjustment. And then LA Knight gets the win via the blunt force trauma, or the BFT for the 1, 2, 3. So this is great. And then post-match, John Cena shakes hands with LA Knight. So really cool stuff there. Moving on. So the Judgment Day, they're backstage. They're telling Damian Priest that tonight is not the night to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. So Damian Priest doesn't want to leave the building empty-handed. Rhea says that he's not 100% and should do the cash-in at a better time. So that does make sense. There's still tension within the Judgment Day. And I have a wild theory that maybe the briefcase that Damian Priest has is a fake. I've been thinking that for quite some time. That, it's all a ruse to, get him kicked out. So that way, JD McDonough can join the Judgment Day that way. Main event, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Very solid little match here. There was one part in the match where Seth Rollins brought a ladder into play, and he was climbing up the ladder. Nakamura pushed Rollins off the ladder. Rollins gets up at 9. Nakamura and Rollins continue to brawl throughout the crowd. There was one point in the match where Seth Rollins hit a pedigree into the stomp. Nakamura got up at 9. And then the finish was basically where Seth Rollins goes for a curb stomp for Nakamura again, but he gets up at the kind of 8. And then Rollins hits the Falcon Arrow through a couple of tech tables to get the win. So that was a weird finish to me for whatever reason. I thought that Ricochet was going to get involved and kind of cost Nakamura the match, but Seth Rollins was able to fight off Nakamura. He sold the back very, very well, so I'm glad that Rollins won. Nakamura, on the other hand, I don't know where he goes from here. I don't. I have no idea. This heel turn means nothing at all. It means absolutely jack shit. And I don't really know what's next for Nakamura. I really don't. I hate to say it. He might need to go back into the mid-card. There's no need to have a third match. There's no need for that. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do a third match at Crown Jewel? Why? Nakamura lost 2-0. Be different if this was like a regular match and the last man standing match was the third and final match of the feud, but it's not. It's actually the second match. So, again, Nakamura has lost clean on both occasions. What do you do with him? Nobody knows. And it sucks, if we're being honest. It really does suck. I like Nakamura, the heel turn was badass and everything else, but, he didn't win. I don't know. I really don't know what you do with Nakamura going forward. Just like I don't know who's going to be Seth Rollins' next opponent. Maybe a Logan Paul. Maybe they can kind of bring him into play at Crown Jewel. Logan Paul showed up at last year's Crown Jewel against Roman Reigns. So why can't he show up again for Seth Rollins? So maybe they'll do something like that at Crown Jewel. Maybe, I don't know. But Seth Rollins is really running short of challengers to kind of face him for the championship, and that's more so of a second-rate championship. So I mean, I don't know what you can do with Seth Rollins going forward, outside of putting him against Logan Paul again. But that's Triple H's problem. He'll have to figure it out. But overall, Fastlane was okay. It could have been better, but it was all right. But what did you guys think? Like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.